So, just in case anybody doesn't tune in to all of our lovely YouTube episodes, I'm going to try and do something different. And this is to begin with a little bit of aspects that we looked into in the previous one. So first of all, though, I want to quote our lovely Sadhguru. Human suffering is manufactured in the human mind, as are human limitations. And yes, when people learn about how our attachment system and how our brain and defense system work, I have been learning about trauma, and trauma-informed courses are really great for anybody who is a personal development coach, mentor, educator. I'm a lot of different things, podcast host, and in this case, YouTube channel video stuff or video podcasts. I know that there's probably names of it, and as an online marketer, I probably should know them, but guess what? Imperfections and flaws are my favorite thing to do, and really it's because the community of adults aren't aesthetically superficial. Yeah. We don't really care about how you present anything. We're going to either resonate because we can sense there's something valuable that we're going to be shared, or we're going to be like, nah. But if somebody actually is superficial, they're most likely not intrigued with their in-depth. So that's the part. Usually you'll find that anybody who's genuinely interested in being a person that offers long-term, they're not going to plan short-term. And so the human suffering bit. I've been told by many, no, it can't be true. No, it is true. Not all of us, the ones who have the emotional body connected, we don't have this human suffering thing. That's my 5D mystics and functional adults. So they know about life minus the suffering, because our relationships as teenagers, they're not dramatic. They're relationships. We are going to be exploring different things. It's okay. If you break up with me, I probably will cry about it. I'm not dying inside. That's a difference. So yes, and human suffering actually is felt in the temporal junction, where people relate to their past with suffering, but they're also doing what is called rumination, which is in a biochemistry of fear, which you'll learn about how the brain works if you were interested in being a human, which most people apparently, they don't care about how their brain works. They do go grab the psych education, but it's to weaponize it and use it against each other, because they haven't completely healed their unfinished business, their own attachment insecurities, and trauma wounds. And as Patrick Tiahan has pointed out, lovely Patrick Tiahan, he's a therapist, childhood trauma survivor, and as he points out, once you've healed enough, you're not going to be all charged about your trauma history. You talk about it, and actually you don't even want to talk about it. Oh, you also don't weaponize the psych education and use it with labeling each other. And you also know that if a person is hurting another person, they can get work, but they might not. And if you're hurting another person and you care, you're going to do the work, and you're going to figure out, wait, I have trauma, childhood trauma, maybe trauma memory. There's various ways. These words get used a lot. I know. However, it is getting used a lot because there's a lot of new information, and the attachment researchers are really awesome. And the people who have been working to help people with their relationships and not the drama part, to not have it. You don't have to have it. So 5D mystics and functional adults, we have a little leg up, as they would say. It's because we didn't get disconnected from our emotional body. So when we get somebody who, quote unquote, hurts us, they don't hurt us. It's called emotions. It's part of the human journey. The people who feel hurt, here's where that teenage year is important, because I remember all my teenage friends. I'd be like, why are you being so dramatic? There's plenty of fish out in the sea. They get another one. No, but. So here, Terry Real, as he points out, people marry their unfinished business. No, not all people. Just the ones who don't learn to be secure attachment in their own body. So when you get heartbreak as a teenager, guess what? You get to choose if you're going to keep loving or not. I remember making the conscious choice. It's like, you know what? Just because these teenagers don't know how to love, I'm not going to become not loving. And when I was presented in many different ways, the equation of love again, I was like, yep. I'm not going to not love because somebody is hurting my feelings, independently from what level of hurt. Because really, is there a level? I mean, it's only plain and simple sadness. So on that note, when I say it this way, it's because it's actually the emotion of sadness equals the emotion of love. It makes me laugh because I'm like, wow, I just have a really good relationship with my emotional body, and my brain is doing the left-right integration of the brain. Any human being can do it. Now, the therapists are in the habit of working with people who are in the emotional disconnect, and that's why it's very important, because trauma memory ain't no feat, meaning it's not easy, if that's the way to use that word. It's not easy for a person to start feeling emotions, but that doesn't mean that they need to go around hurting people. So when you learn about attachment styles or categories, it's not because you have to be with somebody who doesn't know how to tend to their emotional body and or their disconnect. It's new information. It's now accessible. So a person will be interested in tending to themselves if they're interested in building long-term relationships, because they will say, I don't want to hurt people I love. It's a very straightforward equation as a teenager and as an adult. Now, the people who believe in devils, demons, and all that, energy vampires, the 4D collective, yeah. And the 3D collective, they apparently don't hear the scientific methodology. If they did, they'd know we're all human babies, besides the star part. And as a mystic, yes, I love the stars. I'm a human baby. And beyond supernatural, doesn't make any difference except for even more loving. And that's because the ventral vagal state, it's in your body. You know, I've learned so much, it's not even funny how happy my heart is, because it isn't about a belief. I know that physically speaking, you and I can achieve restorative embodied self thanks to the mental health community. If there's any subject matter that I will leave, I'll be like, okay, go mental health community, because they have found a way to make sure you got heaven in your body. They even negotiate with their clients. Because walking out of hell from a body that has emotional disconnect, because see, again, you were 0 to 1. And not now. No, you're 0 to 1 years of age, your first 2 years of life. So people, apparently, it's just too good to be true. It must be humans are evil. It must be all that has been. I was a teenager, so I was like, why? And now I have that proof to say, you know, you are awesome human beings. Isn't it exciting? And the purpose thing. Every time I think of 4D and purpose. So how am I going to phrase this one? I'm not going to phrase this one, actually. I'm going to wait until my wisdom comes online. I'm going to do the relationship bit. So the twin flame saga, lo and behold, twin flame flames your oversoul. It is a very beautiful gift. The one of a 5D mystic. 4D, no, because they're torturing themselves with the trauma bonding. Anxious and avoidant. They have unfinished business within their own attachment system. If only they would notice, I long to be seen, to be soothed, to be safe, to be secure. It's my human attachment system. I can work with that because it's not going to go away. No, it's always here. Difference is how many times do you get to engage. And I didn't do yoga until I met Sadhguru and did his courses. And he made me promise, which is fair and square. I know that it's helping a bunch of people to get a handle on their prefrontal cortex, which is where their adult self, thank you, Terry Real, is. So your partner ain't going to fix you, but you can marry your unfinished business. And Terry Real helps a lot of couples to get together and let's get together. Yeah. So 5D mystics, we don't want to do that type of relationship. We like to be secure attachment. So we can work together to get to that secure attachment, but don't securely attach. Because, you know, the reality is I might want to go somewhere for, I don't know, 10 years or maybe forever. And getting here, again, it is very beautiful. So I'm happy to share with my 5D mystic community all this stuff because the 4D keeps wanting to live their saga. And it's sad because right now what I've noticed is there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to say this. I didn't think that 4D would stay as a bandwidth. But I also know, like Patrick Tiahan says, Reiki or anything holistic ain't going to get you out of your attachment wounds or your childhood trauma. And if it's serious, big, serious deal, he is very correctamundo. I'm going to get updated on how to help people through the good trauma experts. But in the meantime, serious relationships are how you heal your trauma. And as Terry Real points out, partners don't fix each other, but they can learn to do mindful relationships. That's only if you move into the mature adult. So yoga helps you to, one, exercise your ventral vagus nervous system. And then when you're sitting in silence and meditating, you're getting to start to learn how to harness this and to just keep quiet your left mode, which is a chit chatter, and to sit with your sensations. When you connect the emotional body, that's where the therapist can help you understand it with a psychoeducational perspective, personal development, courses, content like this. We bring human, spiritual, and spirituality stuff together. I did always this way, and I will fuck it up, meaning I don't always remember all the data points, but I have plenty of resources somewhere organized. So reach out. We have IHP Community Masterclass coming up. That one is going to support building your emotion regulation skills and experiencing relationships minus the drama. The paid subscription-based model content on the podcast also does that. When we get to 1K, we'll have it on YouTube more than the other channel, but I think I'll mix it up because I know some of you don't like to do video. You like audio. And I'll probably do another one because this full moon has a lot for A lot of people going on. So in the meantime, anybody who's new, welcome. I'm Maria. I hope to see you.